Hey, it's Saul over, and thanks for joining us. I want to cover tonight some pretty critical information concerning these revolvers, Harrington and Richardson revolvers. These came in a lot of shapes and styles and probably about a dozen different model numbers. This is a 925 in their 9 series. There also is a 7 series revolver that's very similar to this. Many of these, or pretty much all of those models, could be affected by this. These starting in the 60s, not exactly sure when in the 60s, these revolvers started to leave the factory with a significant flaw. I'll show you that flaw. This is the mainspring assembly here. It runs through the grip area. Has a strut, a little keeper here where it sits in the frame, and then it has a head on it that bears on the bottom of the round portion of the hammer. As it comes back, it presses that, provides spring force for the gun. The flaw is that the head of this unit left the factory as a piece of plastic. Let me try to show you a piece of it here. I've actually replaced this part twice in this gun. First time I replaced it with another plastic one. I believe that is the replacement plastic one. It didn't last. It broke. The way you can tell that these are damaged, when you cock the gun, you'll find that you don't have very much hammer force left because it's not allowing that spring to compress enough when that's broken. The second time I replaced it with a metal one that had been made by Numeric Arms, and Bob's Firearms, I believe, also has that part. What I found on these and examining them is it's not so much the condition of the gun or how it's been used or how much it's been shot. These parts are bad because of their age. This is a E series gun, which puts its date of manufacture in 1968. And so I'm sure these parts were made sometime around there. The latest they could have been made was in the 80s. It appears to be a piece of white nylon or Lexan, and all of them I've ever done several of these repairs for other people. I've done, like I said, 2 on this gun for myself, and I've found that the plastic on these is very deteriorated, and it snaps off right there where the this used to be a full round piece. It would be on the bottom of that little stirrup. They always snap off right there, and they're very dry and brittle, and it will cause a major failure of the gun. You know, so a gun like this has been stored for a long time, picked up, would probably fire the first time if that was broken. As that piece disintegrated, it probably would not fire. The second time, it would fire very unreliably until finally the broken pieces of this jammed up the action and it wouldn't shoot at all. It's a pretty easy repair to make. I'll show you that strut, how it comes. It has a pin that holds spring pressure on the keeper, and then this head portion as it comes, the new one in metal. You want to get the metal one. Don't get the plastic one. Would sit on it like that. You can take a pair of needle nose pliers and you can relieve a little pressure on that string, and this whole assembly will just pop out. And then you can replace it with the new one. Don't pull the tension keeper pin until you have everything in place, and you can reach in there with a little pair of needle nose pliers and pop that pin out. This is actually one of the old ones. All of them I've ever seen for sale, they come as a complete kit. You can't just buy the head that I know of. So it's a pretty easy repair. Anybody that has one of these, hasn't examined it, needs to take it out and look at it. If you're considering buying one of these, you need to look at it before you pay, because you're going to have to pay about $20 for this part. So it does devalue the gun a little bit if it still has the plastic part on it. If it has the plastic part on it, just tell yourself, even if it looks good and it appears like it's functioning well, that it's going to have to be replaced with the metal one. They will not continue to function well. They all break. As these guns age and they don't get shot that much, people are kind of slowly finding out that the ones that they have are broken. And like I said, this can affect most of the Harrington and Richardson models, the 7 series models. They're small 32s and 22s. They're single action 22s. All use a fairly similar system, and many of them did. And I don't know why the decision was made by Harrington and Richardson which ones would come out with that plastic part and which ones would be shipped out with the metal ones. I don't know what determined that, and I don't know the age of when they started that. I've taken apart some Harrington and Richardson guns from the 50s, and they of all of them have been metal, all metal, no plastic internal parts, and I've taken them apart from later when they had the metal part in them. Now, I don't know if somebody else had replaced them outside the factory. If that was shipped that way, I would assume that most of them came from the factory that way. Just want to go over real quickly, just while we're talking about these guns, if you ever have one of these made after 1940 and you want to know the date on it, the serial numbers going to be on the butt. You can't really read it, I don't think, but they all come with a prefix. It started with the letter A in 1940 and went on from there until 1980. This was an AE, which dates out in 1968. So, a little bit of extra information for you. But thanks for watching. If anybody has any questions about how to replace this part or where to get it from, further information on that, feel free to put a comment in and I'll write back and let you know where to get it. Thanks for watching.